Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you the AI tools I use in my workflow, or some of them, and how I use them together to create products and apps and websites. So we're going to start off in MagicPath. MagicPath is an AI design tool. Imagine Figma and ChatGPT had a baby, that would be MagicPath. So MagicPath, inside MagicPath, you can quickly ideate and create designs that are fully customizable, and you can copy the code and actually build it in code and develop it. So for example, if I wanted to build something like let's create something more niche. Okay, let's say I want to build a SaaS account settings page for professional B2B platform, and it has all these different features with a sidebar, profile, security, billing, notifications, and it has different features that we want to implement as well. What I could do, I could paste this, but I could also import a design theme. So if your company has a custom design theme, you can import it using MagicPath. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to choose something like this, a simple one, and I'm going to press enter. And you're going to see it's going to create something in just a matter of minutes. Okay, this is the simple page that we've created in just a matter of minutes. Let me make this bigger. And you can see we've got the sidebar. It looks very simple and basic. Maybe we don't want this and we want something else. So we can actually go inside edit and we can change the design theme from here. So instead of dark simple, we can choose something like this, make it pop a bit more, or maybe this. Or maybe something like Nike. Okay, I like this one. So click on save. And what we can also do as well is that we can change from this generic font. We can have a prompt MagicPath and say, can you use this font in all our designs? Or we can use the edit tool as well. Oh, okay, it's actually changed the font for us, but let me just show you anyway. So if I clicked on this text, instead of Geist, I could click something like Montserrat. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, Montserrat, and it will change just like that. Let me just cancel that because I actually like this font, but you get the example. And let's say I wanted to create something for myself, for example, a portfolio. I could do that like this, and what I can do, I can combine different components. So as you can see here, I created this portfolio layout, but if I go back to an earlier version, version 7, you see that there's no chatbot. And what I did, basically, I said, can you integrate, and I referenced it using the app button, and I said Mikey OS chatbot 1 into the design, and I pressed enter. But I'm not going to do it again because I've already done it. And that is how I integrated the chatbot into my design. And what I can do from here, I can come into the code and I can copy this, and I can go and actually build this and develop this. Now you can open this in Cursor by using this command here, this button, and opening it inside your terminal and following a few basic instructions. But I actually want to build this in Lovable. Why Lovable? Because now Lovable, with Lovable Cloud and AI, has a native backend where I can store API keys and different databases. So for example, I might need native AI, and with Lovable Cloud and AI, I don't even need an API key. I can just use Lovable's backend and use their AI model portal to integrate AI into this chatbot. So what I'm going to do, we have two files here. I'm going to copy this portfolio layout one, and then I'm going to copy this chatbot one. So first let me copy this portfolio one, and I'm going to go into Lovable. So inside Lovable, I just said build this personal portfolio for Mikey Ito, which is me, and I've pasted all the code from MagicPath. And then I've also, at the bottom, I've pasted my design system that I created using a tool called TweakCN, and I imported it into MagicPath. And I just came to MagicPath and I clicked on export my custom design theme. I clicked on copy and I pasted it inside the Lovable. Let me just give it a little bit more context at the start. Let me just say code. Let me just give it a little bit more context here, and then I'll enter and paste it. So I've added some additional context by the help of ChatGPT, and I'm going to enter this now. I'm going to see what Lovable actually creates. And because I'm using Lovable's backend, I need to click on allow cloud. And I think you can set this to make it so that you don't have to click on accept or allow each time. So it's now accepted or approved the cloud and AI features, so the backend and the AI model features. And now it's going to build all the components for my portfolio with the chatbot. However, I've not actually pasted the chatbot code, so it'll be interesting to see whether it creates its own chatbot or what it actually does. And Lovable is now finished, and as you can see, we've got my portfolio that I designed in MagicPath. You can also see that it's changed or added its own chatbot, which I don't like, so I'm just going to ask it to remove it. So what I'm going to say is, please remove ask Mikey OS button/chatbot. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to MagicPath and I'm going to copy the components code. So here, just copy single file, and I'm going to load up my next prompt. I'm going to say add this chatbot component, and I'm also going to say please put it above the social icons. I'm going to say make it fixed. Actually, not make it fixed, but just say please place it above the social icons. And then I'm going to paste the code here and press enter. Okay, Lovable's finished, and it's actually not put it above the social icons, but it's put it fixed at the bottom. And this layout might be better because when we click on it, we can still see the work, which is good. So I think I actually might prefer this layout, and this is actually the original layout as well. So let's just keep this for now. And you can also see that it's using dummy responses, but we can integrate AI into the chatbot. So we can say integrate an AI model into the chatbot so it gives real responses and not dummy information, dummy info. Let's send that. Okay, Lovable has said it's implemented the AI, so let's test it out. Let's just say hi, and it's loading. It's a good sign. Okay, there we go. So we've got something that's working there, but obviously I need to upload all my information, all my stuff that I want this OS to know about me. And to do that, I could use Lovable. If I wanted something more robust, I could go to Cursor, which is the third tool I like to use. I'm going to demonstrate in this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rename this project first so that we can save it to GitHub. Now that I've renamed it, I'm just going to click on sync to GitHub, and I've already logged in with GitHub, but if you haven't logged in with GitHub, you can just log in and create an account. And I'm going to transfer anyway. And then I'm going to go and open Cursor. So in Cursor, I'm going to click on clone repo, and I'm going to click on clone from GitHub. And I'm just going to type, you can type in your portfolio, or you can just click on this. And it didn't actually change the GitHub name, which is annoying, but we can just use it. It doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm just going to save it somewhere on my computer in another file. And now that I've saved it in a folder, I can open up Cursor, and the first thing I need to do is I'm going to say install all dependencies, including, actually let's just leave that as that, and run app. Sometimes I say including Vite or Vite, however you pronounce it, because sometimes it does forget, but it should work, so let's see how it does. Okay, now it's done, I can say run app, and let's see if it runs the app. Most of the time I just type in here npm run dev because it's actually quicker. and I can just open this and you can see it works. And in Cursor I can implement changes. And why do I like using Cursor over Lovable sometimes? Because it's more robust and it can integrate and implement more complex things, and also it's a little bit cheaper than Lovable as well. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to go to 21st Dev, and I've got a button that I want to use instead of the basic buttons I already have. So I'm just going to log in. I'm already logged in, which is good, and I've already saved it to my bookmarks. But you see in 21st Dev there's a load of different code components that you can use and explore for yourself. So the button I saved was this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this prompt when it loads. I'm going to copy prompt, but you can also see that there's other tools as well. And I'm going to say use existing stylings. This is my custom rule. I want to use the existing styling we've already established on my portfolio. I'm going to copy my prompts, and I'm going to go into Cursor. I'm going to say change all the buttons to this code component button below. Make sure you use my established colors. And I'm going to paste. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save my design system as a file somewhere, so let me do that. So I've got my code design system, and I'm actually going to open a new chat inside Cursor. I'm going to say save this code design system as a file so you can use for future reference. I'm just going to paste the code there, and I'm going to see what Cursor does, and it should save it as a file in here, I hope. Perfect. designsystem.css. Great. And let's go back into this. Okay, Cursor's still figuring out how to implement the button, so we'll check in when it's done. And this is Cursor 2.0, and what's different about Cursor 2.0 is that it has its own agents tab, which is something slightly more similar to what you see in other vibe coding or AI engineering or AI coding tools like Lovable and Bolt. So it has the chats, and you can see the code here and what it's implementing. It's actually kind of similar to LLMs, should I say, ChatGPT and all that sort. So yeah, you have two different views. You have the agents view here, and you can review, and you have the editor, which is a classic IDE in here. Okay, Cursor says it's finished, so let's check on our design and let's see. Okay, so we have buttons here, and you can see that the hover state it's not quite visible. So if we go back to this button, you can see, okay, the hover is meant to be very subtle, but we need the colors of this to be different. So I'm gonna say to Cursor, let's change the color of the Let's Connect button. So I'm gonna say change the color of the Let's Connect button to my turquoise color. I think turquoise color, and yeah, I'm gonna click on enter. Okay, Cursor is finished, but it's only changed the hover color to this. So I'm actually going to find the correct color I need and get. So in my design theme MagicPath, just copied this primary color hex code. I'm going to go back to Cursor, and I'm going to say make the default state color of the button this primary color. I'm going to put in brackets the color I've pasted. So let me, okay, so paste the color, and then I'm going to say it should not be gray, and then let's see what it does with that. Okay, so it's made it our color, but I'm not quite sure on this actual hover effect, so I might change it in the future. But one thing for sure, I need to make the show stack grey or secondary color, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I've just changed this slightly, so we have this primary and secondary button, and we have the different hover colors as well. Anything about this is a bit laggy, so I might change the button, but you can see how very quickly we can implement something from MagicPath, take it to Lovable, and from Lovable into Cursor, all in one nice smooth flow. And I can push this back to Lovable and then deploy it live on the web. So those were the 3 tools I like to use in combination with each other to create and to design with AI. Thank you guys for watching. Have any questions, any comments, any queries, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.